over to this live. So please, if anybody is watching this right now, please let me know if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay. I'm not sure what the heck was going on before. All right, it still shows nobody's in here. All right, we got 3 people in here. Fantastic, fantastic. Rahul, yay, Rahul's here. Okay, good. Rahul, can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? Yes, we can hear you. Okay, thank God. Henry's here. Fantastic. Okay, I was like so scared there for a minute. I thought, I don't know, like I lost my live stream privileges or something like that, because it kept saying unable to connect, and I was like, what the hell is going on? It might have been because of the Prism app. Like there's this new thing that I was trying to use to live stream to a better quality, and so I put the link through there, so maybe something with that triggered it. I don't know, but I'm just glad that I can still live stream. I'll figure out the Prism thing another time. So I apologize for the technical difficulties to begin with, but we're back. We're back, and we are going to have a great day. Sun is out. It is Monday morning here in Tokyo, and I'm in one of the older areas of the city that is called Asakusa. So if you come to Tokyo, this is like one of the top places you should go to. So I'll be giving you guys a big tour of that. Oh, okay, I'm so happy to see there's 87 people here. So people are coming over from the other stream. Welcome to everybody. Fantastic. Oh, my friend Raymond is here. Hello, Raymond. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Zhenwei. I would love to go to Taiwan, but it's not going to be on this trip. It would definitely have to be another time, but would love to visit Taiwan. Thank you very much to Jim Ross for the super chat. Thank you so much. Alina is even more alive since she arrived in Nippon. A walk and talk with her in her haunts of yesteryear is not to be missed. Tokyo, let's go. Thank you so much, Jim. Much appreciated as always. And thank you so much for the PayPal. I saw that you said that before the live started. So thank you as always for your support. Hope you're doing great. We got William from North Battleford. Welcome. We got Carolyn from Nepal. Fantastic. We got the whole world here. Man, am I ever happy that I didn't get my live stream privileges taken away for some reason. I was so scared there because it was saying unable to connect. And I thought that, well, either, I don't know, YouTube is just having like a temporary error, which would suck, meaning that I couldn't, you know, do the live stream today. Or I'm like, oh my God, is there some kind of issue on my channel I don't know about? Or like, what happened? I'm just so happy to be here. Thank you so much to Michael for the super chat. Hi, how are you, Alina? I am doing great, Michael. I actually had a really fun night last night. If you follow me on Instagram, I went out with some friends. We went to a really good craft brewery, and it was a little difficult getting up this morning, if you know what I mean. So hope you are doing great, Michael. Actually, speaking of beer, that is a good transition to what I'm about to show you guys. Does anybody happen to know what this building is? Put your guesses in the comments. I assume some of you, if you've been to Tokyo, might actually already know, but it's a bit of a weird building, right? So comment if you know what it is. No, Zhenwei, my dad's already back in Canada, so he's going to be in Canada for the summer, but we'll definitely do like trips in the future. So does nobody know what it is? Okay, so far I don't see any guesses, so I'm going to tell you guys what it is. It is the Asahi Beer headquarters. Isn't that so random, right? Such a weird, like, shape of a building. just on the skyline here. And of course, right beside it, some of you may recognize is the Tokyo Skytree, which is the tallest freestanding tower in the world. Like, I know there's a lot of different classifications of like tallest building in the world. I think that's the famous one in Dubai. But as far as freestanding towers go, the Tokyo Skytree is the record holder for that. So if you are in Tokyo, I highly recommend going up the Skytree. It is such an amazing view. Especially if you can go like right before sunset, so you kind of get to see it when it's bright, when the sun is setting, and then also at night. That's like the perfect time to go. And also in this area is a great place to catch the boats, as you can see them passing by, and you can go for a nice tour to Tokyo Bay and see the city from the water. Also a lovely thing to do. Aw. Thank you so much to all my lovely friends who came out today. First of all, Henry, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for showing us around Asakusa. My pleasure. I'm very excited to show you guys around today. Hope you're doing great, Henry. And then Shigeru, thank you so much. Good to see you, Alina. Hope your live stream is going to be successful. I hope so too. I hope that YouTube will keep letting me live stream. But thank you as always, Shigeru. Thank you for coming out. Okay, so guys, I am going to flip the camera, give you one last look of the Bay Area here. We are all surrounded by tourists, and we are going to make our way towards the central part of Asakusa because we did start a little bit later than I anticipated. So I gotta stay on schedule because I'm actually meeting a fellow YouTuber friend who I will introduce later, probably on Instagram first. We're hanging out today, so I have to meet her in Ueno at 1 o'clock, or 1:30 I should say. So I gotta get moving if I'm gonna make that on time. I'm just gonna run across the street here. Give me 1 second. All right. This is a beautiful department store that they have here, Matsuya. Oh, dang it, just missed it. An attraction of Japan, KFC. Though it actually is an attraction because they definitely have a bit of a different menu than we do in North America. So it actually would be quite fun to visit KFC in Tokyo to try their stuff. So Asakusa is actually quite a busy district, obviously because of primarily because of Sensoji Temple, which is one of the oldest temples in Tokyo. It's like from 645, but the one that stands now was rebuilt in 1958, I believe. But originally, that's when the structure was put in this area, and it's the most famous Buddhist temple in all of Tokyo. So this is a very popular area to visit. Genway asks, do they have egg tarts at Japanese KFC? Egg tarts at KFC? I actually don't know. I haven't been to the KFC here like since the last time I was here. I'll have to check. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else can say for sure in the comments. Aw. Doug Yadden, you are on every single live stream now. I really appreciate it. You are on a roll. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wonderful to catch your live stream once again. Hope your visit to Tokyo is going great. Thank you so much, Doug. Hope you have been getting all of my postcards, and for anybody in my postcard club, I did send cards from Nara about 1 week ago, so you should be getting those soon. But thank you as always for coming, Doug, and I am really enjoying my time here in Tokyo. Almost a little bit sad that I only have 3 weeks left. I've already been here for about 3 weeks, but the time just goes so fast. with seeing so many places, catching up with friends, catching up on editing. Unfortunately, I've had to just like sit at home quite a bit to get more caught up on videos, which I'm still not. But I'm glad to have 3 more weeks here because I still have so much that I want to do and so much I want to show you guys. Look at this. Look at those cute girls. Oh my gosh. Kind of similar to Kyoto and many other traditional parts of Japan. You will see a lot of people in, you know, kimonos and yakutas. This is definitely the place to wear them because there's a lot of beautiful older buildings. Just makes a nice scene for it. And there's lots of these sorts of shopping complexes where it's like all covered, which is really nice. If it's like raining or something outside, you can walk down here. Let me actually take you on a little tour of this one before we head to the temple. Because what else Asakusa is really known for is a lot of traditional sort of treats. So you can see like the rice crackers that they have here. There's a type of like soft cookie that they make here, kind of similar to I think it's called takoyaki. Let me know in the comments if that's correctly, you know, like the soft fish cookies or whatever. That's called takoyaki, right? So they have some other styles of cookies that are famous just from this area. Oh Jesus, takoyaki is octopus balls. No, but isn't takoyaki, isn't it takoyaki? Am I just imagining things? It's similar to takoyaki. I'm getting confused, but like, you know, like the fish pastries or whatever that have like red bean paste inside. We'll see them here later on. My mind is scrambled this morning. This cute cafe. Look at that treat. It's almost like a little bun with the green tea ice cream. That'd be really good. Yes, that's what I thought. Thank you. I'm not crazy. Taiyaki, okay. Takoyaki, yes, it's the octopus balls. I don't know why I said it that way. Taiyaki is what I was thinking. Peanut butter beer does that to you, yeah, exactly. All right, I'm glad I wasn't imagining things. It's so easy to get lost in here. I swear, like there's so many different ways you could go through here. And there's so many good restaurants here, like lots of good soba, ramen. Japanese pickles. Small eggplant pickled in mustard. Interesting. Has anybody who's on the stream been here before? Because I assume most people who have been to Tokyo went to Asakusa, but no, it's not always the case. I guess if you only had, you know, one day here and you really wanted to see Shibuya or Harajuku or something, maybe you wouldn't make it all the way up to Asakusa because it is kind of, I think it's eastern part of the city, so it does take a little while to get up here if you're going from the more like downtown areas. Thank you so much to my friend Shifa. Yes, I made it. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I definitely made it after a night out, but for some reason my live stream wouldn't work at first and I was worried that it wasn't going to happen at all. So I'm very glad that starting a new one fixed the error. But yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be busy today. It's not even Sunday, but I have a feeling it's going to be very busy today. Got the cool rickshaws that you can take to tour the area. Yasmin says, I visited Asakusa in 2018, but looking to visit next year. Non-stop Los Angeles to Tokyo are busy flights to get on. Nice. And then Harriet and Jim said that they have been here. Fantastic. Thanks for coming out, guys. Nice. Jim did as well as Ralph. Awesome. We got a lot of people that have been here. Lovely. Well, guys, we are here at the first main gate. As you can see, there are a lot of other people that want to get the first famous picture of the area. Big Instagram spot. Another reason that this gate and temple is quite famous is because they have a lot of these like red, I don't even know what you would call them. They're not bells. Actually, what would be the proper name, guys, of the big red ball? But not a lot of temples actually have this sort of thing. So that's one of the other things that makes Sensoji really stand out. But this is called the Kaminarimon Gate. Lantern, Jesus. Well, I guess it is a lantern. For some reason, I thought there was another name for it. Just reading your comments here. Noah says, I hope that within the next decade, traveling becomes cheaper. Taking a vacation shouldn't be a privilege just for the wealthy. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how you guys have found it, but I've definitely noticed the price of flights for certain destinations have gone up like crazy. But if you are flexible, you know, with when and where you go, you can still actually get some really reasonable flights. But it's the flexibility part, which I know that if you work, let's say, a 9 to 5 with only certain days off, it's a lot harder to be flexible with where and when you go. So how cool is this, friends? This is Nakamise Dory, which is the really famous shopping street here in Asakusa. It is so busy today. Oh my God, I did not expect this for a Monday morning. Oh, some Russians. I hear Russian. We got a green tea shop here, I think, or no, what is this? I don't know, some kind of souvenirs. If you're looking for great Japanese souvenirs, Asakusa is really the best place that you can go. And it's actually quite reasonably priced. You would think that, oh, you know, they could charge a crazy premium here, but I find the prices are actually pretty good. It's really nice quality stuff, and just easy to come to one place to do all of your, you know, tourist shopping, you could say. Ooh, I might have to come back here actually, because I'm still looking for the postcards that I'm going to send from Tokyo. So these ones are kind of cute. Of the gate. What's this one? Ooh, of Shibuya Crossing. Yeah, these are cool. Awesome. I will have to come back here. Tokyo Tower. Also really nice to go up Tokyo Tower, but it's not as high as the Sky Tree, so I would recommend the Sky Tree over Tokyo Tower. Here are the famous cookies. Here we go. They got like automated machines over there that are making them, so everyone is basically perfect. So here we go. So these cookies are called Ningyo-yaki, doll-shaped cake. Freshly made cakes are packed to stay delicious for 1 month. What? That's amazing. Yeah, I think within the bag they all like individually wrap them, which is really cool. Yeah, they come like this. So you could actually buy a few packs to take home and have them last. That's awesome. This shop has been here, I think, in the whole time that I have been visiting Japan, which is 17 years. So they've probably been here for much longer than that. It's really cool. Oh, I missed some super chats here. Thank you so much to Jim, Harriet, and Yuki, as always. Thank you, Alina, for hanging in there with the live stream. My pleasure, guys. I'm happy to be here. Glad we could go ahead with it. Thank you so much. Big thank you to B. Wayo 007. I stood under the red lantern in 1991. Very nice. Well, you definitely came at a time where there were probably very few foreigners in Tokyo, because when I came here, it would have been, I think, 2006. And then, you know, I was basically a circus attraction. Like, I got stared at basically every time that I left the house, because there were really not that many tourists or just obvious, you know, gaijins that were coming to Japan at that time. So I can't imagine in 1991, there must have been far fewer people here. Oh, my mom's here. Привет. Алиша, привет. Хорошо, что начался лайвстрим, но видимость не очень отчетливая. Yeah, so my mom's saying the quality of the stream isn't very good. How is it for you guys? Okay, see, that's what I was trying to fix by using Prism, but maybe it was frickin' connecting Prism that screwed over my live stream this morning. I don't know. I don't want to blame it, but I was hoping for better. I'll have to try it again to test it out another time. Oh, Mikhail Ponti is here. Hello. He is in China right now. Hello, Mikhail. It's, I guess, around the same time for you as it is me, so good morning. Not really choppy, but blurry for a bit. Okay. Well, hopefully it will get better as I kind of go on. Sometimes it's just the area, you know. That's a funny name. So Nabil asks, почему твоя мама называет тебя Алишей, а не Алиной? So he's asking, why does your mom call you Alicia, not Alinoi, which would be like, I don't even know how to translate it actually, but like, why is she pronouncing my name like that? But it's actually in Russia, where it's like a pet name, right? Like, some random stranger wouldn't call me Alicia, but if you know me like really well and we're close, you could call it. It's like in Japan, actually, for example, you know, it's an honorary thing to say san, so like Alina-san. But if we were like really close, it's almost like a pet name to say Alina-chan. It's kind of like a cutesy, like we obviously know each other kind of greeting. Okay, so I think most like languages actually have something like that. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera here, guys. Yeah, so just so everybody's aware, so YouTube only lets me go to 720. I can't stream higher than that. That's what I was trying to do with Prism, where it's supposed to be able to do 1080, but it was not properly connecting, so unfortunately, this is the best I can do for this live stream, but I'm gonna try and see if I can make Prism work for a second time. We got some more cool postcards here, some magnets. And I like that they have these sorts of, well, they're obviously fake, but cherry blossoms that come all down the side of the buildings here. Oh, the other thing that you absolutely need to try if you come here. Oh, Jesus. Konnichiwa. Oh, arigatou gozaimasu. Is, yeah, they have a whole bunch of really good soft serve here with some really unique flavors. Like, look, soda, fully ripened melon. What's another weird one? White peach would be good. That would be really good. Grape. Actually, this one doesn't have too crazy of flavors. There was one that had like sesame or like wasabi flavors and stuff. That would definitely be really spicy, but really fun flavors. Oh my gosh, look at the cute big Hello Kitty. How cool is that? I love it. These are like the good luck kitties. You're supposed to put them outside of your business and it's supposed to bring prosperity to your business or to your home. So it's like a good luck omen to buy them for somebody. Wasabi ice cream would be too crazy to eat. I agree. Oh my god. Yesterday, I actually bought something new at the conveni, which was like those kind of oval-shaped rice crackers that were wasabi flavor, and my mouth was on fire. Like, you almost have to, I don't know, drink some kind of hot tea or something with them. It kind of brings down the intensity, but if you eat them just by themselves, oh my god, it was terrible. But, you know, if you can handle wasabi, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. Genway asks, what's the most unusual Japanese food that you've had? Well, I think this is actually my go-to answer of like, what's the weirdest and like worst food that I've ever had? It was not by personal choice, but I tried chicken cartilage when my so-called friends told me that it was like pickled vegetables, and then I bit into it and I was like, this is not a pickled vegetable, like what the hell did you give me? And yeah, it was chicken cartilage. It was disgusting. Like, it was disgusting. I would never eat that again. So that's definitely the most unusual thing that I've eaten in Japan. I would not recommend. But what is tasty is this. So first of all, delicious strawberries that they have here that are also put on top of daifuku cookies. If you don't know what those are, it's more or less mochi, but it does have a much like thicker and larger portion of the cookie has filling in it compared to mochi. So a really nice treat. I tried their custard one here and it was really, really good. All right, we are going to keep on going. What's nice here is that similar to Kyoto, you can rent kimonos here as well. Though, of course, usually, you know, like from these kinds of shops, they're not going to be, you know, the highest quality kind of ones. If you want to get a real kimono rental, I think you might have to kind of go off of this main street. But like the cheaper kind of ones, you can rent right in this area for, you know, $20, $30. Oh, okay, this shop is super cool. Oh my god, am I going to be able to get out? I love this shop because they make really cute stuff for your pet as like souvenirs. They have, you know, like traditional Japanese outfits for your pets, which I'll show you in a minute, but then they also have all these cute like stuffed animals, and then they have pictures, I think, of some of their customers who are super, super cute. So if you want to get a cute Japanese outfit for your pet. This is a really fun shop. At least can I film in here? I guess we'll see. Like, look. Kawaii. Yeah. So cute. Wasabi beans. A whole chopstick store. See, if you want really fancy chopsticks, you could come here. Oh man, it is busy today, guys. Jesus. Henry says, seeing so much good food on a Sunday evening. Yeah, walking around here definitely makes a person hungry. Oh my gosh, look at that robe with cats. I love it. I would wear that. I think this is a rice cracker place. Or no, they have the cookies as well, but I don't know if you can see over here is all kinds of different rice crackers. We have fresh lemonade. And I can't say I remember exactly where it is, but somewhere in Asakusa there's supposed to be a really famous handmade candy shop that is supposed to be amazing. So keep a lookout for that. Apparently the most busy time of the year to come here is New Year's Day. Everybody comes to Sensoji Temple, I think, to, start the year off right. So it's just completely packed, I guess, on New Year's Day here. Out this way, we won't go too far down here, but I think it's from this street that there's a lot of really good traditional restaurants, and for fairly reasonable prices as well. Like, look at this. You can get like I think this is udon, an udon combo with tempura for 1,091 yen, which is like $8 maybe even slightly less. So super reasonable. Yeah, handmade udon noodles. That would be really, really good. Actually, speaking of food prices here in Japan, I anticipated that, living where I am now, where I do have access to a kitchen, that I would be cooking more, because I actually do kind of miss cooking since I rarely get to do it anymore. But I kind of haven't been because, Jesus, that pigeon was flying very close to my head. Because I kind of tabulated it out how much the groceries for what I want to make would cost versus how much it would be for me to just go get a meal, and maybe it would be 20% less to cook at home. But because there's so many great budget options for food, especially here in Tokyo, Jesus, so many people, it really doesn't pay to, and it's all that time that then I would have to spend cooking and cleaning it all up. It doesn't make it worth it. So still, other than breakfast, most of my meals I eat out because it's just so budget friendly. You could even sometimes get meals for $5-6 if you just wanted a simple rice bowl or something. I'm very surprised to see that the prices are still this low, considering so many countries, you know, are dealing with inflation and things have gone, you know, down a lot. Want to say a big thank you to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Are you seeing many international tourists? Harriet and I love their custard-filled donuts. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there is actually quite a few tourists here. I think ever since that the COVID restrictions started to be much less here, especially now when you don't have to wear a mask to go anywhere, I've been seeing a lot of tourists. So tourism is definitely back in Japan. Just reading your comments here, guys. I'm gonna flip the camera as I do. Nice. All right, so we're gonna head back this way towards the temple. Oh my gosh, is this one of those photo booth places or is this something else? Oh no, I think maybe they draw you as a caricature or something here, yeah. One person, 10 minutes. Nice. That would be a fun souvenir, right? I thought that it was the kind of place that's like a photo booth and it kind of distorts your face. But those are usually in like Akihabara and stuff. Definitely recommend doing that when you're in Japan. Ooh, very nice kimonos. Ooh, look at this vending machine. That ice cream looks so good. 220 yen, that's like $1.50. Amazing. Miguel asks, how much time are you going to spend in Japan? So I'm leaving in 3 weeks, but I mean, I have been in Japan for almost 2 months, because I spent a month traveling around the country, and then I've been here in Tokyo for about 3 weeks now. So it's gone by so quickly. And in general, my whole trip of, you know, when I was in Southeast Asia before this, my trip total is gonna be like 9 or 10 months by the time I get back to Canada. Like, isn't that crazy? It doesn't feel like it has been that long, but in a way it also does. I do feel like I'm ready to just take it easy for a while and not be, you know, just not feeling like I'm at home for a while anyway, but then I'll get the travel bug again and want to go somewhere else, so don't you guys worry. I won't be stopping traveling anytime soon, but I do need a break. I definitely need a break. Tokyo has actually been a break in a way, because I'm in one place that I do already kind of more or less know, and I have time to catch up on stuff, so it actually has been a break already, which is great. But still, I'm like exploring, I'm filming, so it'll be nice that when I'm in Canada, probably sometime in June, I'm gonna fully just not film and just catch up on videos, because I'm probably gonna be like a month or 2 behind, and then I'll be fresh and ready for a new filming season. Jim says it seems like you got there a couple weeks ago. I know. It's such a... Time is such a weird thing. Thank you very much, Jinwei. Much appreciated. So guys, look at that beautiful pagoda that we have here. And here's the second gate. Wow, I can like smell the smoke and the incense from here. It's actually believed that before you go inside of the temple, you're supposed to like cleanse yourself with the smoke that they have from the incense up here. I'll show you guys what I mean in just a sec. It's beautiful, isn't it? My goodness, tourist groups galore. Yeah, somebody had asked, are there foreigners in Tokyo? Yes, there are. There are so many foreigners. They're all here in Asakusa. All right. So you can get different things at these shops. I can't remember the official name for it, but they're almost kind of like these little pouches, these little trinkets, and usually they have some kind of prayer on them related to the temple that you're visiting and like how it's auspicious. So those are little souvenirs that you can usually get from all the major temples in Japan. You can get little prayer beads. And this is where you cleanse yourself before you go into the temple. So let's actually do that. Oh, and these ones I think are the ones where you get your fortune told, something like that. It's 100 yen. Ooh. And now we're ready to go. Nice. Oh, thank you very much to Cart from Prince Albert. Amazing. Ooh, I love her kimono. Look at that beautiful white one. Looks so pretty. Aw, I'm glad you got the postcards, Donalyn. Very happy to hear that. I am very lucky that my hobby became my profession. Yes. It is kind of weird when people like ask me, you know, what do you do for fun? And I'm like, well, I mean, technically my job, I mean, I love my job and it is super fun, but it's like fun with deadlines, you know. It's like there's some days when I definitely, you know, as everybody, some days doesn't feel like doing their job or doing certain things, but you know, you have certain deadlines, you have certain commitments, so you still got to get up and do it. And obviously the days when everything goes wrong, it's not fun, but I would say 90% of the time I love my job because it is also my hobby. Do you travel alone or do you travel with a team? This is my team. It's me. I wish I had an editor, a really good editor. I was working with one guy who was pretty good, but then he got really busy, so I've basically been editing everything myself lately, but that would help me a lot. If I could find a really good, reasonably priced editor, that is the first person that I would add to my team. Let me flip the camera here. Oh, lovely. A cat from Silicon Valley says that's near where I was born. Just got back to the US from Japan. I watched your live stream in Meguro and went there too. You're still there. That's awesome, yeah. I love Tokyo so much. It's such an amazing city. So much to see and do. I think I can actually go inside of the temple. Sometimes, you know, they don't allow filming in some areas, but I think I actually could go up to the first platform and show you guys what's inside. Look at the doors. The doors are just so grand. And this is actually a really good view. I realized when you turn around and have the pagoda in the background and then the second gate. Really nice. Actually, fun tip, the Asakusa Cultural Center, which is in that direction, has a free observation deck. I think it's on the 8th or 10th floor, where you get an amazing view of this area, and it's a really good picture. So if you're in the area, go to the Asakusa Cultural Center and go to their observation deck. It's free and you get a great view. So over here there's a beautiful kind of altar, different statues, and then there is a big sort of, I don't know what the proper term for it is, but where people throw money and then make their wishes or pray. From my understanding, it's always auspicious to throw in a 5 yen coin, which is like really not, you know, it's like basically 5 cents, I guess. Or wait, even less, right? It's not a lot of money, but yeah. Yeah, it's 5 cents. So yeah, you throw a 5 in there, you make your wish, and you clap. Todd says everything costs money, even prayers. I mean, you could still pray, you don't have to pay money, but it's just like looked as an auspicious thing to do. This is a nice view from here. There's lovely gardens that are kind of right behind the temple as well. Very nice. There should be more pagodas built around the world. I agree. Carolyn says, being a digital nomad myself, I can relate. I can stay in a country for long periods, but most of that is spent working. Still, I feel lucky. Yeah, it's really an amazing way to be able to visit a place, and you almost feel more like a local, right? Because you're working from there, and usually most digital nomads, they don't move too quickly, which is, you know, in a way something that I'd like to do more of, not like be jumping from place to place all the time, really stay in one place for longer. So it's not only better mentally, but you get a more local experience and get to know the place that you're in on a deeper level. Because there's only, you know, so much you can really take in like a 1 or 2 week span. Of course, you could still see a lot of sights, but it's hard to kind of feel like a local and like you know the area really well in that short amount of time. Aw. Thank you so much, as always, to Rahul. Thank you for coming out, as always, and thank you for the super chat. This is a great live stream and a super cool and authentic area of Tokyo. I definitely need to visit. Enjoy the rest of your time there. Thank you so much, Rahul. Really appreciate it. And yeah, you absolutely need to come to Tokyo, come to Asakusa. And yeah, if you ever need any help with any of the destinations that I have been to and might have some tips, just let me know. I would be more than happy to help. Let me flip here. Give you guys a view of some of these other temples. Ooh, I love their outfits. Oh man, everybody's dressed up today. This is so nice. How lovely is this? There's some fishies in this pond. They're down deep there. Beautiful. Kat says, if you like Japanese sweets, I don't. I'd recommend trying Asakusa Umezono, close to where you are. It's a Japanese sweet place, started in 1854. Oh my goodness. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna try and remember that name. Umezono. Yeah, in general, there's like a lot of good cafes and restaurants in this area. Lots of traditional kind of stuff. Todd asks, any rule of thumb for how long to stay in a place to get to know it pretty well? It's a good question. Well, it depends on the place, because the bigger the place is, the longer it would take to kind of, feel like a local and really see everything. If you're going to my small town of Kinistino, Saskatchewan, that has 800 people, it's not going to take you very long to see everything there is to see. And I mean, like in a week, you could absolutely feel like a local. So, in that way, no, you don't need much time. But let's say a huge metropolis like Tokyo, I think it took me, my first trip, by the end of my first trip, which was 2 months, I started to feel like a local. And even then I hadn't seen everything and I was still, just overwhelmed with everything. So probably took, 3 or 4 months to really feel, like how things are. You've been to so many different, parts of the city, so would take much longer. But also everybody's different, right? Like some people really like to explore and try new things and others don't. So in that respect, it might actually take much longer. And it's all really subjective. But for me, I would say with most places, if I stayed for at least a month, I'd probably start to feel, like I kind of know the major things about the city and feel comfortable there. So that would be my answer. So now, guys, we're walking through another shopping arcade, and we are going to start. Oh my gosh, look at this. How cute is this? Adorable. And they have samurai swords. I love it. Those are expensive. They must actually be legit, like a few $100s. Oh, more daifuku. So we are going to start making our way towards Ueno, because it is about at least 20-minute walk to get there. And then I'm going to be showing you around Ueno area, because both Asakusa and Ueno are some of the older parts of the city. Definitely much more traditional, and yeah, totally worth visiting. Oh, my friend Ryan is here. Is this a strip mall? I mean, I don't know if I would call it a strip mall. Japanese version of a strip mall maybe, but much nicer than anything we have in North America. That's for sure. Thank you very much to Kostov for the super chat. Hi Alina, I hope you're happy today. By the way, did you deliberately choose this date, the 17th, to come live, or is it just a coincidence? It's been exactly 2 months since you last celebrated your birthday. It is a coincidence. No, I didn't, I don't know, plan on a specific day. I just knew that today was going to be good weather, and I was hoping that because it was a Monday, it wasn't going to be so busy, because Sunday yesterday would have been absolute madness, but it was still super busy. So I did not plan it, but I guess 17 is my lucky number, so it works. But thank you very much, Costa, very kind of you. And thank you so much to Rob Net for the very kind super chat. I assume you are Canadian with the currency there, unless there's another currency that's CA. So thank you so much to a fellow Canadian. Hope you are doing great. Oh, Rob, you did put a comment here just underneath. For a child, time is forever. But as an adult, time dissipates in the blink of an eye. Time can never be earned, but how much it spends counts. The incense smoke reminds me of smudging. That is very true. I used to feel that, oh wow, you know, like a whole year, especially going to school, would take so long. You know, each grade school year would be an eternity. But it is true that like the older you get, time does fly. Like even this past year, I'm like, what did I do? I know I did so much, but it all just blurs together and time goes so quickly. So good advice to appreciate it. Thank you so much to the lovely Brianna. Thank you so much, lovely. I've missed you. You look happy, Alina. Asakusa, I bet, is awesome. Yes, it is. This is a lovely area of the city. Definitely one of my favorite places here. So hope you are doing well. Thank you for coming out. I'm gonna flip the camera here. And we are gonna head to Ueno, but as with all my recent live streams, it seems, I have only walked this path once. Like all of Asakusa, obviously, I've been here so many times, so that part is easy. But I don't always, you know, walk in between places, so I don't exactly always know like how they're connected. So I'm going to take more of a probably quieter street to get us to Ueno, and hopefully I remember how to get there, because yeah, like I said, I walked this once, but I tried to like choose a street where more or less I just go straight after a certain corner, and then I think I'll remember on which turn I turn left to go towards Ueno. So let's hope for the best. Got a pachinko parlor over there. There's actually a lot of pachinko parlors in Asakusa. For those that don't know, it's basically gambling. Like it's like those kind of slot machine style kind of things, but they're more kind of like arcade games in a way. And you get all these like little balls instead of coins. And if you win, the machine like overdoses with all these like little metal balls, and then you take them to get cashed in for a prize, like, you know, let's say a big stuffed animal, or I don't know, some kind of electronics gift or something. So if you didn't actually want the gift, what you would do is you go to some back alley, and like there's literal people sitting there that then will like pay you cash for your prize. So that's kind of why it is more or less gambling, but officially gambling is illegal in Japan.
Bong.
Actually, I'd be curious to know, what other countries in the world do you guys know of that gambling is illegal? I assume in some of the more like strict Middle Eastern countries, I assume gambling would be illegal, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't actually know. I think in most of Europe gambling is legal. Because like in Ukraine they have like slot machines and all that kind of stuff. Alright. Go down here. So, because we do have, yeah, like a 15 to 20 minute walk to Ueno, of course I'll be showing you guys the sights as we go. This is a much more local part of the city, so I wanted to show that as well as the really touristy parts. But if you guys have any questions for me, because I haven't really done like a Q&A about whatever you want, put them in here now, because we, like I said, we do have a bit of a walk, so I can answer your questions much easier now, and I'm also not in a crazy crowd of people, so just wanted to put that out there. Can I get across the street here in time? Let's see. Yes, I can. Oh, I gotta run. Daniela says gambling is illegal in Brazil, not one casino in the whole country. Oh, interesting. Huh. Jim says none where the government doesn't take a cut. Yeah, that's probably true. Very nice. Aw, we have a local here. Nagi says the weather is warm and pleasant today. I am watching from Sendai in the Tohoku region of Japan. Enjoy Japan a lot. Thank you so much for coming out. Haven't been to that area yet. Rob asks, being a tourist, cash or a card? Do you mean what do I pay with? I assume that's what you mean, but if you meant something else, please comment. Good question. So I use both. I would recommend for most destinations that you should always have cash on you. That I have learned, where I've been actually in some sticky situations where for whatever reason my cards wouldn't work because, you know, my bank, I don't know, thought that there was a fraudulent transaction, so they just like freeze my accounts for safety, which I appreciate, but then I don't have access to money for what I need in the moment. So always make sure you have at least a few $100s spread across maybe different parts of, you know, your suitcase. Obviously don't carry it all on you at one time, but always have cash on you. But at the same time, I use my credit card all the time when I'm traveling. Usually I'll use the card where I only have like $1,000 limit. I don't use my higher limit cards for just regular purchases. Usually when I'm abroad, only for like booking hotels or something, I'll put those cards just for, you know, like extra safety reasons. And here in Japan, yeah, no issues with using credit cards or taking out money on the debit card. That's usually what I do, is like I take out cash from my debit card, and that's just like the easiest way to go about it. And luckily I really haven't had, you know, many issues with bank kind of stuff the last few years that I've been traveling. I remember maybe 5-10 years ago when I would travel, I would have, yeah, my accounts like frozen so much more, and I'd have to call the bank and say, no, it's me, like I told you guys, you know, I was going to this country, but you still, you know, don't let me use my card as soon as I arrived. So I think just back in the day their systems weren't as advanced as they are now, so usually I don't have that many issues, thankfully, when I'm traveling. I'm actually going to flip the camera here and give you guys a view as I answer your questions. Jim asks, that room that you stayed in above the brewery, what does it cost a night. It looked very nice. Yeah, so I have a mutual friend who is a general manager of a brewery that I went to last night. And what's cool is this place has a hotel just above the brewery, so if you were too drunk to go home, you could just spend the night there. But of course, you know, it's going to cost money. And I believe their rooms were going for like from $150 to $250, depending on the room that you go with, because they actually have a few different styles. It's actually a really good place. And that's quite reasonable, you know, for Tokyo, because their rooms are also a lot bigger, I would say, than the average room is, like an average hotel room in Tokyo. So you're gonna expect to pay at least $150 a night in Tokyo for like a tiny place usually. So that's why I feel very lucky that I have my guest house that I'm staying in, paying a crazy good rate per night and still getting my own room. But you have to stay a minimum of 1 month to be able to do that, of course. But yeah, for a short-term stay, I would definitely recommend the place that I stayed at last night. It's really nice. Yeah, it's way bigger than APA, definitely. It's another question here. Steve asks, just curious, been following you for a while now. My wife and I will be in Japan next month, including Kyoto. Do you sometimes meet up with your followers on YouTube or offer guided tours? Great question. So, I mean, I meet up with people, of course, if I kind of had a relationship with them, you know, throughout at least, you know, a few months. I don't usually meet up with people that I haven't already chatted with for quite a long time, or unless it's through somebody who I already know. But maybe in the future I will do some like YouTube meetups if there's enough people that watch my channel in one place. Like, I would love to meet you guys, but just unfortunately, you know, I don't have a lot of time to meet people individually usually. As for the guided tours, I've never done anything like that before, but I would consider it if there was enough interest. And ideally, I would like it facilitated by like a proper, you know, tour company. If I was actually doing, you know, a trip, I would definitely need help with that. But I guess I would do like a walk around the city with a group of people if there was interest for that. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in something like that. But I think it probably would make more sense to do like a proper tour, you know, because it's probably quite unlikely that me and my followers are going to be in the same place at the same time, and there's a big group of us to do that sort of thing. So it would have to be something that I plan to do in advance. But yeah, I would definitely consider it. And hope you guys have a wonderful trip. Hope you have a great time in Tokyo and Kyoto. Oh, Satomi is here. Thank you for coming out. Oh my gosh, I was in Asakusa yesterday. It was insanely busy. You definitely picked the right day for live streaming. Have an awesome time. Thank you. That's good to hear, because yeah, I was thinking that, oh, I could do Sunday, but I wasn't sure how the weather was going to be, and it did rain a bit yesterday, and the crowds anywhere that's popular in Tokyo tend to be quite crazy on Sundays, unfortunately. I'm just trying to not lose the spot where I was answering questions from. Ralph asks, do you use Passmo or Suica cards? Yes, so I have a Suica here in Tokyo, and they're basically like transport cards where you can load money and then you just like tap it as you enter and exit any kind of public transportation, and it calculates how much, you know, you're supposed to pay for that journey and automatically deducts it, which is really smart. So yes, I would recommend getting one of those if you are coming to Tokyo, planning to use public transit a lot for at least a week. I don't think it'd be worth it if you weren't staying at least a week, because you do have to put a 500 yen deposit on the card, and then when you're leaving you'd have to go to a counter and like get that back. So unless you're staying for a while, I probably would just do tickets. Besides walking, what would you recommend traveling around a city in Japan? Public transit or cab? For sure, public transit. Like, unless you have a lot of money to spend, or you absolutely, I don't know, need to get somewhere that public transit can't get to fast enough, I would not use a cab in Tokyo. Or unless if you're maybe carrying a whole bunch of stuff and don't want to go on the subway, then a cab would also make sense. But cabs are quite expensive in Japan in general. It's kind of just like a set fare, and they don't have things like Uber. So the public transit is amazing and will usually get you there faster than the cab will, depending on the journey, especially longer ones. So I would recommend public transit for sure. Let's see here. Oh, we got somebody from Kazakhstan. Amazing. CJ asks, is there sakura still, or is everything gone? Everything's gone. Very sad. I think it was about a week ago that it officially ended. Tokyo had its sakura season like 2 weeks earlier than it usually does. So if it was a more normal year, it would be ending about this time of the month, but it started like mid-March. So within the first week of April, most of the trees had shedded their petals by then. So I did get to catch it, but Tokyo was just abnormally very early this year. How is Pasmo or Suica different? Correct me if I'm wrong, locals, but I'm pretty sure Suica is the card that the JR company puts out, but that you can also use on the Metro network, and Pasmo is the one that the Metro network puts out. But they're really interchangeable. Like, you can use them on all forms of public transit. You can also pay for cabs with your Suica or Pasmo card. You can also usually pay in convenience stores and many other places. So it basically is like a charge card that you can use for a whole bunch of different things in Tokyo and all around Japan. I think they're doing some kind of political campaign or something on the loudspeaker. Oh man. She is energetic. Got a dental clinic here. Oh, that's actually one thing that I wanted to do. So let me flip the camera. I was considering possibly having my teeth cleaned here in Tokyo if it's less expensive than in Canada. I had my teeth cleaned when I was in Kuala Lumpur, which wasn't that long ago, but I feel like because it's so expensive in Canada, I prefer to get it done again before I go back. But maybe in Tokyo it's probably similar to the price that it is in Canada, so it's not as worth it. But oh, it was nice to be able to be in Bali or Kuala Lumpur and like get a proper teeth cleaning for like $30-40. I'm gonna miss that. So we gotta walk across this platform here, and we're getting much closer to Ueno, but still have some time to just walk and talk. So if you guys have any questions, put them down below. I would think it'd be very difficult to drive in Tokyo, because not only is it on the opposite side of the road, but you know, there's so many like signs on the ground probably telling you what kind of lane it is, but unless you know Japanese or have a local tell you what it is, I would probably be driving in the wrong lane. So I would not recommend it probably for the average tourist to try and drive in Tokyo or Japan in general. All right. Actually, that's a good question for you guys for in the comments. How many of you have driven in a foreign country? Which one was it? And did you find it difficult in comparison to the country that you're from? Because I think that unless you are going to a country, like let's say if you're going from Canada to the States, I mean, really not that much of a difference. You shouldn't have any issues, you know, getting around and driving. But if you're going somewhere that's driving on the opposite side of the road, or like has some kind of other crazy rules, or like freeways, then it could actually be really challenging. So while I wait for your answers, I'm just looking at your comments here about my dentist comment. Yeah, it is amazing that I can do it for $30 abroad. And yeah, Canada does have like insurance that would cover dental, but either you have to like pay a monthly, you know, like basically you're paying for private insurance, buying it for yourself, or it's given to you through your company. So since I'm self-employed, I would have to take out a private package, which to get like a good dental plan and, you know, good optometry and like good massages, all that kind of stuff, it probably would be a minimum of like, I don't even know, like $150, $200 a month, like for an actually good package that gives you lots of benefits. And then that's, you know, over the course of a year. I don't think you could just get it for 1 month, get $700 worth of stuff and then stop it. So since I'm not in Canada for most of the year, it doesn't really make sense for me to do that. But yeah, if you have benefits through your work, then it's fine, because usually it will cover most, if not all, the cost of the procedures in Canada. Okay, some of you have driven abroad. Eric says, I drove in Ireland and I love driving there, but I'm from Chicago, so I have no problem driving anywhere. Does that mean Chicago's really crazy for driving? I wouldn't assume that it's that different than anywhere else, but I guess maybe it is. CJ says, I drove in the Philippines. It was great. No rules to follow. Yeah. I mean, that can be both a good and bad thing. And a cat from Silicon Valley says, I have driven in Spain and France. I'm Japanese living in the US. France was easier as it's more logical. Interesting. Huh. Harriet and Jim and Yuki have driven in London. I would think London would actually be challenging. Jim says, drove in Iceland, Netherlands, Belgium, and France. It wasn't bad, but in Taiwan and Japan, not a chance. Yeah, for sure. Actually, see, Iceland would be one that I would consider driving in, because there's so little traffic from my understanding. Like, it's kind of almost like the backwoods of Canada, where it's really not a lot of, you know, cars on the road. So as long as the roads were in good condition, then that would be great. A good thing about driving in France, Spain, is that speeding tickets are only $25. What? That is so cheap. That's crazy. Love that. Well, man, you guys are impressive. A lot of people have driven abroad. I think that definitely commends respect, because it's kind of, you know, tricky sometimes to figure out the rules of the new place that you're visiting. So I commend you all. KR asks, how much is it affordable as compared to Canada for food and living? I assume you're talking about here in Japan. Yeah, if I'm comparing, well, okay, it's hard to compare a whole country because it depends on the region, right? But let's compare Tokyo and Toronto, the two major centers of each country. So definitely, I would say on a whole, rent is far more affordable, and to even buy property is far more affordable than in Canada. Well, Toronto specifically. Toronto's like on another level of crazy. So it's far more affordable here. But the difference with, let's say, renting a one-bedroom apartment in Tokyo versus the average one-bedroom apartment in Canada, or I mean in Toronto, is it's going to be much smaller here. Like the apartments in general tend to be, you know, quite cramped, if I'm being honest, usually here in Tokyo. And the smallest part of each apartment is usually the kitchen. Like the kitchens here are tiny. So yeah, if you wanted like a really spacious, big apartment in a central part of Tokyo, yeah, that's probably going to cost you a lot of money. But you can actually find some pretty nice, you know, average apartments for like $1,500 a month or less here in Tokyo, which I feel like is extremely reasonable. In, you know, Toronto, similar kind of place is probably going to be a minimum of like $2,100, $2,200 if you're getting it in a good part of Toronto. As far as everything else, probably everything else is less money too. Food is by far way less than in Canada. I would almost say like a minimum of 30% less to 40% less. Well, maybe actually not that much for groceries, but to eat out for sure, it would be 30 to 40% less if you're just considering the average place. Public transit is probably more or less the same price, but it's way better here. And yeah, just in general, I think to live in Tokyo would cost less than in Toronto. But also keep in mind that here in Japan in general, their minimum wage has actually been quite stagnant. It's only, I think, about 1,100 yen, something like that, which is about 11 Canadian dollars, about, you know, 8-9 US. And that's very low in my opinion. So that's the other thing to consider, that, you know, many people who are working the lower wage jobs in Tokyo probably still find it extremely difficult to afford a place to live. Go. I'm a little bit worried about the sky, guys. It's like really nice, bright blue sky over here. And it's like cloudy, almost looks like it's gonna rain sky over here. I hope that's not the case. But all we can do is hope for the best. Look at all the different train tracks here. So many different train lines that go through here. We're getting much closer to Ueno, and Ueno station is enormous. It is enormous because it's got obviously the JR trains, the Shinkansen goes through here, and then they have all the different metro lines that go through here. It's crazy. I've been going for almost an hour and a half. Wow. This is going to be a very long live stream. I still want to show you guys some of Ueno here. Jeez. says, you've driven in Bulgaria, right? How was that? Yes, so Bulgaria's the only like foreign country that I have driven in so far, and it was pretty good. I mean, other than the part where I was deep in the Rhodope Mountains, where it was basically single lane with traffic both ways and just kind of a choppy road half of the time. Outside of that, it was fine. But within the mountains, it was extremely challenging. So that I would not repeat. But if I was just driving from like the major cities in Bulgaria, like I had rented my car in Plovdiv, no problem. Like I didn't find it that challenging. But I had to use Google Maps, obviously. If I didn't have Google Maps, it would have been terrible. But with Google Maps nowadays, anything is possible. So that's kind of the back of Ueno Park. If you guys can see the big green space up ahead. But this part, if I remember correctly, is mainly home to just a museum. So we're going to enter Ueno Park from a different way. We're kind of going to go around the park. Where was I in the questions? Rob asks, laundry, how does one deal with that in Japan as a tourist? Good question. So the building that I'm renting in we do have our own washing machine that costs 200 yen a load, which is about $1.50. Extremely reasonable. And then I have to hang up my laundry to dry outside. We don't have a dryer, but about a 5-minute walk from my place there is a laundromat and has similar prices, and they also do have a dryer. So if I wanted to, I could go use the laundromat, and that's usually what a tourist could do. Is there's usually laundromats in most areas, so you would just take your laundry there, or I guess if you were staying at a hotel, they probably would have a laundry service, but you'd probably pay a very high premium for it. So just look for the laundromats. Flip the camera back to my lovely mug and talk to you guys for the next question here, because not much to look at in this part. Alina, do you generally live in Canada and travel from time to time, or you travel overseas most of the time and go back to Canada to rest? The latter. The past 4 years, I've been abroad longer than I have back in Canada, but I do try and make like at least one big trip back to Canada a year, where I usually stay like, 2 months minimum, usually. I think I have most years, and yeah, visit my family, visit my friends. This time that I go back to Canada, more than likely it will be at least 3 months, just because it has been, such a long time on the road, and, I miss my family, I miss my friends. And it's weird, actually. One thing that I notice as I get older, you notice everybody else is getting older, and it's kind of sad, thinking that your parents are getting into the real retirement age. Though, I mean, my dad should have been retired for the last 10 years, but the guy is still, working. But, I just want to spend as much time as possible with my parents, especially. Had something else I was going to say. Yeah, obviously I just want to spend time with the people that I love while still, making strides towards my other goals. I don't want to fully just like give up my career and move back to Saskatchewan or something like that, to be around them all the time. I don't feel like that would be the right decision for me. But I do want to make, as much effort as I can to go back to Canada to see them. And also what's great about my parents is that both of them are open to traveling and going on adventures with me. So that's, what I think is going to happen, where my dad is now converted to be spending the winters in like Southeast Asia or somewhere else warm. So I'm definitely going to like travel with him when he's visiting those kinds of places. And then same with my mom, even though she's still working and stuff, when she gets some time off, hopefully we can do some travels together. And then once she retires, we can do even more trips. So that is the goal. Let's see here. Oh, do you guys know what is in front of me? Take a guess at what this large blue thing is. Any guesses? All right. Your mom is quite a traveler. Why don't travel with her? Well, because she has to work. You know, we traveled Brazil last year together, which was amazing. But, you know, she only gets like a few weeks of vacation a year with her job. So she can't really take off a long period of time to go traveling at this point. And then she was actually planning on going to Thailand earlier in the year, and I was actually supposed to meet her there, but then Air Canada frickin' canceled all of their routes to Phuket, and to go with other airlines, it was like ridiculously expensive for the time that she had off. So she was actually supposed to travel with me this year, but it didn't work out, and instead she went to Hawaii, which is also fabulous. But yeah, I haven't seen my mom in like 10 months, so I want to go back to Canada. So that is what was blue. That is the blue whale. Yes, Rob guessed it correctly. This is the, what's the proper name for it? National Museum of Nature and Science. I think it's actually closed today because it is a Monday. But yeah, they have a big blue whale in front of the museum, which is pretty cool. And we are here, guys. We are officially in Ueno Park, which is a landmark place in Tokyo. It's a lovely park in and of itself, but there's quite a few like attractions in and around this area. I guess primarily the main attraction would be Ueno Park Zoo, which is out in that direction. So you guys know how I feel about most zoos. There are some ethical zoos, but you know, not really my thing that I want to support, but they do have one here. And then within this area, there's also a lot of really cool museums, like that one of natural science. This one I think is more of a historical one, as well as Japanese art, if I remember correctly. There's one for Western art, and then there's also a performance hall where you can like watch different musical performances and such. So a lot of beautiful cultural things in this area. And as you'll later see, there's also these really cool like smaller side streets that have all these really local restaurants and kind of a shopping district as well. So Ueno's like a really cool area to explore, and probably would be a good area to stay in as well, because the prices of hotels and hostels in this area tend to be quite a bit less than Shinjuku or Shibuya or something like that. It's also a little bit more peaceful, so I would recommend staying in Ueno. Lovely. And this park is also very popular during cherry blossom season. So if you guys can kind of see from here, there's a big path that keeps going down that way, and the trees surrounding the path are all sakura trees. And when it's the season, it is just everything pink, like everything pink, and petals flying everywhere. Lots of people do picnics in this area. So Ueno Park during cherry blossom season is very, very popular. Aw. Thank you so much to Katsu. My other Japanese friend, thank you so much for coming out. Love the super sticker. Hope you are doing great. Very kind of you. Oh, guys, I'm a little bit worried actually. I hope they don't cut my data. They cut data on my last card. I had to get like a new SIM card about 4 days early because I think they just cut me off. It's supposed to be like an unlimited plan, but they kind of have it in small writing of like if you're using more than 3 gigabytes a day, like we'll freeze your data for 24 to 48 hours. And so I had it happen once where they froze it. No, I had it happen twice where they froze it for 24 hours and then they unblocked it. And then when I was just coming up to the end of the month, they froze it for more than 48 hours and they didn't seem to be turning it back on. So I just had to get a new SIM card. But to be fair, I did use like 60 gigs of data within like, I guess, 25 days. So yeah, there were probably some days where I used like 3 or 4 gigabytes, so that probably triggered it, but today's gonna be a lot. Today's like already an hour and a half live stream, but we're just gonna keep on going, at least for a little while, and I'm just gonna hope for the best tomorrow morning, but I don't really have much to do tomorrow morning, so if they cut my data for tomorrow, it's not a big deal. The only thing that I'm wondering is, what time is it exactly here? Because I'm supposed to meet my friend at 1:30. One sec, guys. It's 12:51. So I'm meeting her in about half an hour. So we have half an hour to explore Ueno. So just trying to think, where should I take you guys? What are you guys more interested in? Do you want to go around this lake that they have here that has this interesting kind of pathway that like has local food and stuff? Or do you want to directly go to the area that I plan to end on, which is kind of these busy, smaller local shopping streets with all the like little tucked away restaurants and stuff? What would you guys prefer to see? Because I don't think I'm gonna have time for both. I don't think. Unless I gave you just like a peek of the lake and then went that way. Yeah, let me know. Larry, how is it possible that you used 982 gigabytes last month? Do you mean that for Wi-Fi streaming or something like that? That is a crazy amount of data. Thank you very much to Cool and Smart for the super chat from Japan in Japanese yen. Iriya desu, if you come to Ueno, how about going to Ueno Ameyoko? It is an international area. Ameyoko? Somehow that name sounds familiar, but I don't quite know which area you're referring to. Like, what is it for? Like, what do they do there? Maybe I have been there before, but I just don't know the name. But thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Doug says, whatever works best for you, Alina. Enjoy your choices as always. Thank you, Doug. Jim says, just a peek at the lake. Passing near Ueno Station. Okay, well, let's do that. I'll try and give you guys, just a quick peek at the lake and then make my way towards the main part of what I wanted to show you. Because, it was because I had my troubleshooting at the beginning of the live stream. It put us like 15 minutes behind schedule. So if I would have not had that happen, we could have seen both. But at least we're here now. Oh, we got somebody from... Is this the second person from Prince Albert? Is all of Prince Albert here on my live stream? Prince Albert, Saskatchewan? Amazing. Oh, somebody's playing the trumpet very well. I don't know if you guys can hear it from here, but the gentleman is playing very well. so this is the path that I was talking about, that yeah, it has all the sakura trees. You're walking down here and everything's just in bloom. It's super beautiful. Oh, he's playing the piano and the trumpet. That's impressive. All right, so we are making our way towards the lake. It's actually a pretty big lake. Nice place to go running around. Doug asks, are street musicians uncommon in Japan? I'd say no, but I think there are far more rules and regulations about where they're able to do it. And maybe even there's a sort of like registration that you have to do, you know, to get permission to be kind of, you know, a street performer in Japan. If I remember correctly, like I remember seeing some people that almost had like a little paper that almost looked like a little license, you know, from where they were standing, because you can assume that in Japan, you know, there's rules for everything basically. So I wouldn't be surprised that to play an instrument on the street, you would actually have to get some kind of license. So I think they do allow it, but only in certain places and probably with permission. Oh my gosh, so many people from Prince Albert. I love it. Thank you for coming out, guys. I will probably be visiting Prince Albert again next time that I am in Saskatchewan. And I should do a video while I'm there during the summer, because I did film there in the winter in -40, and I understand that's an unfair sort of first impression. It is much lovelier in the summer. All right. So yeah, guys, this is the lake. I'm gonna maybe walk just on this side of it to give you a glance, but initially I was planning on going all the way down to the temple, and it's on the left-hand side that usually they are selling street food. But I think today being a Monday, a lot of the shops are actually closed, and it looks like the zoo's closed today too. A lot of things in Japan usually are closed on Mondays, so always make sure that you are checking, you know, before you go somewhere if it's for sure open. So yeah, today's the zoo. The zoo is closed and some of the street food shops are closed, so it's actually just as well. We don't have to go down there, but it is like a nice walk. The walk kind of goes through there, and then I was planning on going all the way around and then that way, but we're just going to stick to this side. And then on this other side of the lake, they actually have kind of, I don't know what the proper name for the boats are, but you know, like boats that are in the shape of a swan and you can paddle boat. Thank you. Thank you, brain. Paddle boat is the word I was looking for. They have paddle boats you can rent and like go around the lake. So that's kind of nice. Aw, thank you very much to Mel's Vids. I love your Sask videos. They're some of your best. Thank you. Yeah, I was very surprised to see how well my Sask videos did, considering, I don't know, most people don't even know, you know, where or what Saskatchewan is. And there's not that many videos on it, which is actually probably why my videos did so well, is because Saskatchewan does deserve to be talked about. There are really cool things to see and do there. It does have its own beauty, but for some reason, a lot of like travelers to Canada don't really go there, and there aren't also a lot of locals, I guess, that are making videos either. So I'm more than happy to share Saskatchewan's beauty with the world. Oh, thank you very much to Kenneth from Calgary. It was nice here today at 17 degrees. That is nice. Enjoying your live stream. Thank you. My pleasure. Yeah, I'm going to be happy that I'm going to be going back to Calgary when the weather is lovely. It's going to be so good. Because for whatever reason, in the last few years that I was visiting my parents back at home, it always worked out that I was going back in the winter. I guess because, you know, I wanted to celebrate my mom's birthday, which is in January, and mine's in February. So I'd usually go at that time. And oh my God, you know, terrible weather, freezing cold in the prairies, January, February time. So I'm like making it my goal to visit them only in the summer, if possible. Jim says -40 is good for your soul. It's just +12, and I'm thinking about turning on the aircon. I need a couple of weeks to acclimate. Yeah, well, not me. 12 is actually very cold for me. I have lost all my winter strength that I used to have to live through winters in Saskatchewan. Now, like 10 degrees is cold for me. So I would be a baby when it comes to living another winter in Canada. Oh, I guess one thing I didn't mention about this lake, let me just go around here. I don't know if you guys have kind of noticed, I'm just gonna say this quieter, but like here in Ueno is actually one of the few places in Tokyo where there is a pretty large homeless population. So I don't know if you guys have already seen it. I don't really want to point, you know, my camera at them, but there's a lot of visibly homeless people in this area. There's a lot of people who have like substance issues usually hang out in this area. So technically, you know, Ueno is an area that maybe you should be more careful in, that, you know, people would suggest because of that issue. But I personally find it incredibly safe, and, you know, obviously we want to have compassion for people going through hard times. So this is one of the few places in Tokyo where you can see like a visible homeless population. So just wanted to mention that. But if you guys can see, there are some lotus patties on the lake here, as well as a fish that was right there at the surface. So they're not in bloom right now, but it would be super cool to see lotus flowers all over the lake. All right, friends, we are officially in Ueno. Can I go through here? Is he? I guess I can. The other fun thing about Tokyo is that you always have to look up. If somebody gives you an address, never assume that it is going to be on ground level. A lot of times I have just like been walking around the exact place where I am supposed to be, not realizing that it's, you know, on floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or sometimes 12, you know, with the really tall buildings. So yeah, anytime anybody gives you an address in Tokyo, make sure you find out which floor it is on, because it is not always on ground level. All right. Look at the cute karaoke cat. On the 5th floor, there's a fun karaoke place. So now we are getting more into the busy streets of Ueno, and I'll give you guys a tour for about 15 minutes of that, because I do have to go meet my friend soon. But yeah, this is kind of the start of the busy city area. This area is especially fun at night. Ueno is nice during the day, but it actually comes much more alive at night. So if you do the park during the day, that's nice, but then like wait until sunset to go into this area, because many more things will start opening up. Everybody gets off work, and it's like a great place to socialize. Oh yeah, it's so quiet here right now. I was here at night earlier this week and oh man, it was busy. It is so quiet right now. Just reading your comments here, guys. Somebody had actually mentioned that a comment about the homeless situation, how Japanese homeless are not nearly as dangerous as homeless in America, and that is absolutely true. And same with Canada, unfortunately. Like, I'm just shocked at some of the headlines lately of like some of the stuff that's been going on in Toronto of just like super random attacks happening. Like, obviously I have, compassion for people who, have mental health issues, but it still is not okay that this kind of stuff is happening and shouldn't be brushed under the rug. Like, these people should absolutely be taken off the streets, because I've just been shocked at some of the stories coming out of Toronto. Just so scary. Like, here in Japan, it's definitely not the homeless population that's committing the few crimes that are taking place here. Ooh, look at all the lovely fruit. So yeah, I love this area. We are like right beside the train tracks, so everything tends to shake when the trains go by, like right now. Oh, you can't see that one. But yeah, there's like all these different side streets here. There's a lot of really good, local food stores here, probably, for a lot less than the regular department stores. So you can also load up on lots of good food here. They have little souvenir shops as well. There is an arcade type of place. Look at all the claw machines. So fun. Oh wow, one play, 100 yen. That's not bad. Just $1. That's cool. And yeah, look at the selection of restaurants that they have here. It's really, really cool. We want to see Alina as well, not just shops. Wow, that's so kind of you. Well, you can see me and the shops for a bit. It's funny because I actually get a lot of comments on my videos. They're just like, we don't want to see your face, like we want to see the place. And I'm like, well, first of all, you can't please everybody, but I think everybody has a different tolerance of like whether they want to watch travel videos that primarily focus on just that place and it doesn't matter who's narrating it, whereas other people like to watch travel vlogs where they really get to, know the person that's doing the traveling and have that personal connection. So I kind of try and do some of both, but I get like a lot of comments. They're like, we don't want to see your face. I was like, that's kind of rude. That's kind of mean, man. That's not nice. Rob says, so clean on the streets and sidewalks, no gum. That you would never find that in North America. Yeah, I agree. Japan is incredibly clean. We could absolutely learn from them. Because, yeah, even like, I hate to throw Toronto under the bus, but like, I love Toronto, and having lived there for so long, it makes me sad when I think about it kind of deteriorating from how it was before, because it's like I felt so safe in Toronto and never really had any issues, but I'm like a little bit, hesitant about what it's going to be like when I go back. Well, I mean, to visit friends. So, yeah. All right, guys. Oh, Katsu says I'm on Ameyoko Street right now. So this was the area that the other person that had sent me a super chat was talking about. Okay, I didn't know that that was the name of it here and stuff. Yeah, this is absolutely one of the most famous, awesome areas of Ueno. I have been down here plenty of times. I just didn't know that was the name of it. Awesome. Just reading your comments here, guys. Okay, so friends, we have only about 5 to 10 minutes left, and then I gotta get going. But yeah, this is more or less the main area that I wanted to show you. Basically, as soon as you get out of Ueno Station, which does, you know, oh, Ameyayokocho, if I didn't butcher that. Yeah, so this was like the main area that I wanted to show you guys. So much good fruit here. It looks so tasty. It's strawberry season right now, actually, in Japan. All the stores are like selling really good strawberries. I don't know where in Japan they grow exactly though. But let me take you down maybe just one side street as like a last thing to do, because as I mentioned, this is like the main walking street, but then you can kind of like duck into all these little side streets, and at night it's definitely like such a fun place to go because it's all lit up and all these little bars are open. Right now during the day, I think just the main sorts of restaurants are open. So, oh my god, that's a Snickers. I kind of want this. The Snickers jacket. Oh, and I'm getting 20% low battery. That's not good. I do have my charger with me though. I want that outfit. All right. Let me see. I think the street I was thinking of is just down here. At least I hope it is. That bubble tea looks so good. Oh my god. That would be so good. Maybe before I meet my friend, I'm actually going to grab a drink because I am thirsty. I have been talking for almost 2 hours. It is literally going to be 120 minutes in just a second. Let's go down here. I have been talking for almost 2 hours straight. I'm thirsty. Need to get a bottle of water or something. But yeah, look how cute this is. I love these streets. You can get lots of good food here for like probably almost everything, you know, around $10. Алиша, я прощаюсь. Спасибо за прогулку по Токио. Пожалуйста. Спасибо, что пришла. And I'll call you later. My mom's saying that she has to go. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna end things off here. I did plan to spend a little bit more time here, but unfortunately with our technical issues, we were not able to do that. But do not despair. I will have for sure at least one more live stream while I am in Tokyo, like in about 2 weeks from now. I think I'm gonna do Harajuku and Omotesando because, you know, that would be quite fun and lots to see and do there. But I might even do 2, because I don't know if some of you remember that I had mentioned I wanted to do one at night, and I've never really done a night live stream because I'm not sure of how like the quality would be, but we'll see. So really want to say thank you to all of you, especially for sticking around when we had technical issues and for finding this new live stream track. Really appreciate it. And oh, Another super chat here from Jim Ross. Thank you as always, Jim. As usual, a walk and talk with Alina is a great way to spend a few hours. Ueno Park in cherry blossom season is both amazing and crazy with people in the evening. This was fun. Thanks for this. Thank you so much, Jim. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the live stream, and there will be a new video coming out on today's Monday, so probably on Thursday I'm gonna have my video of Okayama, which was a very cool area of Japan to visit that not many tourists go to. So stay tuned for that. Sending you lots of love, and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys.